How's it going, Raider Nation? It's JT coming at you with another episode of the Raider Cast, your podcast for everything silver and black. Today, it was revealed by Josh McDaniels at the end of his presser that Josh Jacobs is going to be a captain of the Raiders for the remainder of the season, so the last 4 games. And this move was, I don't want to say expected, but he should have been a captain from the start. But I understand why they didn't, because contract year, I wasn't sure if he was going to be back. There was other captainships they wanted to name on the offense, like Carr, Adams, even Mac Hollins. And I think it's 2 defensive, 2 offensive, and then 2 special teams, or usually some sort of combination like that. But yes, so Josh Jacobs was captain now. It's a very interesting move. Apparently it was mandated by the captains that they wanted Josh Jacobs to be a captain. He was last season. Big leadership in the locker room, big presence in the locker room. Has always been a Raider, has always been supportive, has always wanted to be. Ever since he was drafted, he's been very grateful. He's been playing hard for us. He's never not played hard for the Raiders. I think it's a great move, and it kind of shows where the front office is, how they feel about Josh Jacobs, because you don't just name a random guy who's not going to be in the team next year captain for the last 4 games. That doesn't happen. In my opinion, this is telling of where they are with how they perceive Josh Jacobs, how they perceive him going forward. Obviously, before the season, they declined his 5th-year option, which is a big talking point, and a lot of people think it's a big reason why Josh Jacobs is having such a great year. In my opinion, it's a mix of he wants a new contract and a nice fat contract, but also he just wanted to prove the front office wrong, that they should have given that 5th-year option. They should have basically guaranteed him for another year, and in my opinion, it was the right move. It was motivation on top of coming off an off season. He still had over 1,000-yard scrimmage season. He had only 800 rushing yards, but he still had a good amount of touchdowns. He was injured for a good amount of the game, so it makes sense why he was came off one of his technically worst rushing year. But he still had a solid yards a carry. He had like 4 or 4.2. Something around then. He's had over 1,000 yards every single season he's been in the league in terms of just scrimmage yards. And this season he's the rushing leader and should remain the rushing leader for the remainder of the season. He's ahead by a little under 300 yards, which is insanity. He's at 1,400 just rushing yards, and he has 10 touchdowns. He's receiving yards. He's averaging like 5.2 carry. He's insane this season. He obviously had that huge game against Seattle with over 300 total yards. In that game winner 86-yard touchdown. Just an unreal season from Josh Jacobs, and in my opinion, this shows that we are bringing him back. Combined with a great season, he is a leader, and our offense is clearly really, really good with him, and he is someone that we need to keep around. I know a lot of people disagree with that sentiment, especially with a running back, because they believe that they're replaceable and that you just have to put them. You can switch and replace any sort of running back, and you can draft a new running back and replace that potential. And I disagree. Someone like Josh Jacobs has proven that he is worth a first-round pick. Not only that, but also worth the new contract. He's up there with players like McCaffrey and Kamara and Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb, of just game-changing running backs that deserve to be paid relatively well. And I'm not talking about he deserves to be paid like Christian McCaffrey, because he's not having that type of career yet. But he is, in my opinion, a guaranteed All-Pro, especially if he's going to lead the league in rushing. And he could be one of the best Raider running backs ever in terms of single-season production. He's a guaranteed Pro Bowler. He's already had 1 Pro Bowl this season. He's just really, really good. And the projected contract he's expecting to get, based on SpotTrack.com, is 4 years, $48 million, which averages out to about $12.1 million a year. And if you want to compare that to current running backs, that would put him in around the Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb range of running backs being paid. And I think that's a great deal. I think that's exactly where he deserves the money. Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry. Come on. they're the cream of the crop in terms of talking about running backs. They're always in the conversation for top 5 running backs, and Josh Jacobs is the best running back in the league this season. He deserves to be paid, and I believe the combination of him wanting to be a Raider and also they can use his injury history and stuff like that, I definitely think that will be not necessarily used against him, but in terms of bringing down the asking price a little bit. And I believe that Josh Jacobs will accept that. I believe he will accept 12 mil a year, maybe even a little bit less, but not much more less, not less than 10 million. And I think that's worth it. That is absolutely worth it. And you can make the contract nice and pretty for the team, give him nice guaranteed money, have some voids in there or something like that after a couple seasons or anything like that. But he deserves it. I think he firmly deserves it. This captainship proves that this front office has bought into him. He's going to be back next season. That's just my opinion. There's no fact based on what I just said, so don't take it as fact. This is just my opinion, but I firmly believe that he will be back next season. And for $12.1 million, if that's what he ends up getting paid, that's not even top 3. And there's Saquon Barkley that's going to get paid. Kareem Hunt is probably going to not paid that much, but he's going to be looking for a new team. There's a bunch of players that will be looking for teams and looking for maybe new contracts and stuff like that. And he could end up being a very nice value at $12.1 million, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys think that we should bring Josh Jacobs back? And do you think that this captainship for the last 4 games is a sign of things to come for Josh Jacobs in terms of being with the team going into 2023 and beyond? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Silver and Black content, for more Vegas Gridiron content. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you at the East Coast pregame show tomorrow. And peace out, Raider Nation.